Now back to the beating investigation of Giants fan Brian Stowe. The prime suspect has been ordered back to prison for a parole violation. Giovanni Ramirez is suspected but is not charged in the Stowe case, and LAPD is still searching for other suspects. So what does this mean for the investigation? Well, criminal defense attorney and legal expert Lou Shapiro is here. Ramirez still has not been charged in this beating. Now, it took a long time before there was a charge in the Michael Jackson death case. So should we be reading anything into this, or should we be reading anything into this?
Now, there's really nothing to read into this, and I want to caution everyone to that. He was a parolee, a search warrant was issued on the house, and a gun was found in a house where a parolee was living. That is a direct violation of being on parole. That was the sole reason why he was found in violation and why he's doing the time he's going to be doing.
Now that he's going to be in prison, does this mean that the LAPD gets some breathing time here? Meaning there isn't a chance he's going to get out, which is what they were concerned about. They can continue to hold him. I don't know if they're thinking this is a pressure tactic.
Right. It definitely secures him for quite a long time. But that doesn't mean that the LAPD is going to find better evidence, just because he's in custody.
What has bugged you about this case from the very beginning?
The sketch. It was all just a sketch. And there was nothing else besides a few witnesses coming forward saying, I think he looks like someone in that sketch. It's just not enough. No DNA, no forensics, nothing more than a sketch. And the hair was even different at the time. So there's really nothing that connects him.
And as we've talked before, the problem with that sketch is that he looks like hundreds of men in the San Fernando Valley or in East LA or in anywhere in Southern California. Expand that to thousands of men who look like that.
Right. And that's what he's been arguing this whole time. That's what their defense counsel has been putting forth. That's why he's taking polygraph tests to try to say it really wasn't me. I don't know what else I can do on my end to tell the public I wasn't there. I even have an alibi that day.
Does that matter to you, these polygraph tests that we couldn't use in court anyway?
It does matter. It says something. It's a bold move to come forward and say, hook me up to the machine, give me any question you want, I will answer it, and it won't tick off. And he did it.
So the LAPD continues to work on this investigation. Is there any way that we can tell what kind of conversations have been going on between the LAPD and the DA's office? Because ultimately, they present to the district attorney's office. The district attorney then would go ahead and file charges.
Right. They play these things very close to the vest. And they're not going to be releasing information unless it's really favorable to their case and rock solid that the defense can't take and counter right away. So the fact that we haven't heard any news, no news, is probably good news for Mr. Ramirez right now.
One last question. One of the easiest things to get is an indictment, is to take someone before a grand jury, because it's not necessarily beyond a shadow of a doubt. There's a lot of wiggle room before a grand jury. Do you think that's the possible avenue that they may take, where it might be easier to get an indictment?
Not in this kind of case, because there needs to be some evidence. Whether it's a grand jury or whether it's at a preliminary hearing, there needs to be some evidence. And until they get that some evidence, it's not really going to go anywhere.
All right, Lou, thanks. As always, it's a pleasure talking with you and learning about our legal system.